Hello, and welcome to another video workshop tutorial presented by the Center for Teaching and Research Excellence here at Chicago State University. My name is Theodis Garth. I'm the resident Moodle Systems Administrator, and I will be helping you today with understanding the difference between making a resource or an activity available to students based on a due date versus restricting access to your students in a Moodle course. First, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you as the instructor have already input activities or resources as I'm displaying here in your Moodle course. The first thing you want to do to see these configurations is to turn your editing on. As you can see, my editing has been turned on in the course because there are a few icons next to the resources that I've inputted into the course shell. So to view the difference between the availability options and the restricted access options, let's look at the settings for this activity, which is a submission upload link for a research paper. So with my editing turned on, I'm going to go ahead and click on the link that looks like a little gear, and it's labeled Update. This here will take you into the settings for this specific activity. Alright, as you can see here, this is your general overall summary page for any activity or resource that you input into your Moodle course. At the top here under the General tab, you're going to always get a box here that you have to type in the name for any specific activity or resource that you put in your course. Since this is a updating assignment where you're going to expect your students to upload a particular document, in this case a research paper, you're going to always have a section labeled description, and this is where you're going to type in the instructions for your students to follow. So the purpose of this workshop or video tutorial is to show you the differences between the availability section and the restrict access section here in the configurations for this particular assignment. As you can see here, the availability section is right here at the top. This is the primary section that faculty members will focus on for just the basic settings on due dates, allowing submissions, and cutting off the submission option for your students. First thing you want to do here is enable each section that you require for this assignment. So everything is pretty much self-explanatory here. This is the allow submissions from. This would be the date that you would input that allows your students to begin uploading or submitting their physics papers to this activity link. Of course, this is self-explanatory as well. This is the due date section. This is where you're going to set the due date for the assignment that's going to require your students to meet a specific date and time. Moodle will allow your students to automatically continue to submit their work to this assignment, but the only thing is, if it's past the due date, Moodle will label or highlight the submission in red to let you know as the instructor that this assignment has been submitted late. The cutoff date here is when you want to stop your students from submitting their paper. Technically speaking, what this cutoff date is going to do to that assignment is going to make the submission link disappear. So if my assignment is due the 17th of February and I set the cutoff date to the 18th, that means on the 18th, the submission button or the upload button will disappear when the student clicks on the submission upload link. So that, in a nutshell, explains the availability section here. Now, this is the questions that we receive from faculty. There's another advanced option here at the bottom called restrict access. This section is totally different from the availability section. The availability section only restricts when students can submit, when the due date is set, and the cutoff date. The availability settings always allow your students to click on the link in the course page. Whether it be past the due date or past the cutoff link, they still will be able to see the link in the course page. The restricted access section allows you as the instructor to restrict access entirely to the submission link in the course. So for example, if we enable these two options here, the allow access from, what you basically are saying that you do not want your students to see the actual assignment link in the course until a specified date. And you can also allow access to be cut off until a specified date as well. So if you have, for example, a window of a week where you only want students to have access to your upload assignment, this is where you would set that date. So if I set the date for, let's say, February the 15th, and I'm going to allow them access until the 16th, your students will not be able to see the upload link until February the 16th. This will automatically hide the upload link from your students until the 15th and a specified time and date. The allow access until will keep the link open and available in the course until the specified date, as I said here, February the 16th. So in a nutshell, what this section does, it hides and opens the link in the course for your students to access their upload option. So let's go here, and I'm going to go back to the course, and I want to show you in more detail exactly what I'm referring to. So if we go back out here to the course, you still see that we have the student link available here on the course. The availability section only restricts students from when they click on this link to add a submission, or based on the due date that I set here, they can still click on add a submission, but it will be marked as late in the submission box when you go in to check to see which students have made their submissions. The restricted access section towards the bottom of the configurations page will completely hide or open this submission link for your students to see in the course based on the specified date. So this ends our video tutorial on the differences between making an assignment available versus restricting access for your students. If you have further questions or inquiries about this activity, video tutorial, please feel free to contact the Center for Teaching and Research Excellence. We're located on the 3rd floor of the library on Chicago State's campus, and we're in Suite 318. Thank you. Have a great day.